All right, everyone, welcome to 9 Holes with the Callaway Edge. My name's Mitch. If you haven't seen any of my videos, then welcome. Hope you enjoy this round in Cedar Hills, Utah. Playing with the Callaway Edge clubs, which I am trying to figure out if they are the best budget clubs for those who are in the beginner intermediate range of golfer, as well as those looking to get a full set of clubs top to bottom with a bag on a budget. So this video is going to be a little bit of a mix between a club review as well as a course management style video, because I'm showing every shot from these 9 holes here in Cedar Hills, Utah, starting off on hole 10, which is a par 5. So first 2 shots were great. Hit my driver. Second shot with a 6-iron. This set comes with a driver, a 3-wood, a 5 hybrid, and then 6 through sandwich. So the 6-iron is the highest iron in the bag, and then it comes with a putter as well. So here on shot number 4 on this par 5, taking my sandwich and just trying to get it up close to the hole. Now the low end of this bag, so your wedges and your putter, I think are where I struggled the most, just because there's so much feel and you get used to the clubs you play, right? And every club is that way, but these ones specifically where there's a lot of touch involved, I think that's where I struggled. So you'll see that throughout the round, but starting off on the first hole with a bogey, sitting at 1 over par. Now look at these irons. They're pretty quality. I mean, if you look at them, Callaway obviously is a very well-known brand. Look great looking down at the club, suits the eye, but they're a solid cavity back, player improvement style iron that are super forgiving. So we'll get a good test of that with the pitching wedge here on hole 11, which is a par 3, 135 yards. That could be in the hole. Turns out it was not in the hole. A little bit long, not too bad, still gave myself a good look for birdie. Like I mentioned before, the short range clubs, your putter, your wedges on this set, I struggled with on this round, mostly just right around the greens. I do understand that there is a lot of feel and you get used to your clubs a lot. I've played a blade putter, the same blade putter, for the last 14 years. So switching to this one was a little bit tricky. And at first glance, it seems like a super quality putter. It's a mallet style, really looks good over the ball. But putting with it, I felt it was pretty inconsistent, in my opinion. Coming off the face, sometimes it would sound really good, and other times it would sound like a hard ping, almost off cheap metal. But that would probably be the first club that I would upgrade or replace if I were playing with this full set consistently. And here's a good example of a 3-putt to make a bogey on this second hole. Technically a 2-putt, I should say, because the first one is from off the green, but either way, same result, ended up with a bogey. Coming up with a par 4 here on hole 12. What I'm trying to do here is just be consistent with these clubs. I know I can just swing smooth and slow, get the ball in the fairway, and get a good shot at hitting the green in regulation. Not a ton of danger on this hole, so I wasn't too worried about it. Just wanted to swing freely, and the driver did great. Got a little bit of ground with this one, but because of how forgiving it is, it stayed right on line. Didn't get a ton of distance from what I normally would hit, but we're still looking good because we're hitting a 9-iron off the fairway and have a good shot at the green. Like I've mentioned before, irons, very forgiving. Super pleased with them. I don't know the exact specs. I believe I need to double check, but I think there's a little bit of an offset. So alignment wise, I felt like I struggled a little bit. Nothing wrong with the clubs in that sense, just something that I would need to get used to if I were playing these consistently. Barely missed the green again, so didn't get green in regulation, and we're going to try and 2-putt for par here. Took some pretty bad bounces off the fringe, it looks like, and ended up pretty short. And I think that lag putt is where I really struggled with this putter, is just judging speeds. Obviously, there was some bouncing with that shot right there that we just watched, but for the most part, judging speeds of greens with this club was a bit of a struggle for me. Ended up with another 3-putt for another bogey, so pretty consistent. Let's take a look at the driver though, get a little more specific. We got 10.5 degrees of loft, looks super solid. It obviously isn't the top of the line on the market right now, but hey, it comes with an awesome quality head cover, so you got that to look forward to. If you've never played golf in Utah, I would highly recommend it. Here at Cedar Hills, it's super scenic because you're just playing in the foothills of the beautiful Wasatch Mountains. So this hole is a great example of that. We're tucked up right against the mountain. It is a very uphill par 4. With this driver, I've been pushing it a little bit to the right, but and you can see I do that again here. So not super consistent, but again, that's just something with me, not these clubs. I think they are very forgiving. When I say push it out to the right, it's still in the fairway. So super happy with that drive, no big deal. Being a 372-yard hole, very uphill. It's hard to tell from the camera angle, but we're going pretty steep uphill. You can kind of tell here by the approach shot. We got 9-iron, 135 yards. Gave myself a little extra club just to make sure I got it there. Was happy to hit this one pin high, but pulled it a little bit to the left. Just got to figure out the alignment a little bit with these irons. Hitting it out of this long native area and flew it across the green. So not off to a great start with my short game on hole 13 here. Trying to get a good lag putt on this, but again, man, I just struggled with judging speeds. Coming off the side of this hill, it just seemed like the ball did not stop and just kept going. I think everything leading up to around the green on this hole was excellent though. Great strike with the driver, very solid strike with the 9-iron to get it pin high, and then just didn't have the feel, didn't have the touch. This hole looks very similar to the last one. Taking a 3-wood, first time hitting this 3-wood out in the wild, and ended up being a great strike. A little bit low, not too worried about it though, because it was right up the middle of the fairway, and it's a pretty short par 3. The green is tucked very much to the left, so if you're playing on the back tees, which is what I was playing today, it's hard to get there on the fly because you basically have to carry it the whole way. So clubbed down to a 3-wood and left myself a nice pitching wedge in, 98 yards. Normally would not be pitching wedge for me, but being so far uphill and the ball was a little above my feet, I thought it was a good option. Almost pin high and again on the fringe. So irons, I think if I were to continue playing these, I would get the alignment dialed in much better, where right now just a little bit off to where I'm barely missing greens. Now if I could lag putt, then this round would be totally different. Left myself a long one again, but pretty much the exact same story as the last hole, right? Solid tee shot, not a terrible approach shot, just the touch around the greens are where I struggled. Next up we have the second par 3 of the day. Much longer on this one, so I'm going to get a good look at my 5 hybrid. Like I said before, this set only goes up to 6-iron and then it goes to a 5 hybrid. Something with the alignment on this one too apparently, because I pulled it to the left again and hitting out of the native area, but overall solid club. Having a hybrid in the bag, especially for a budget set, is always super beneficial. So taking the sand wedge out of the native area again, this was a pretty tricky shot. Short-sided over a bunker, not a lot of green to work with. Had a pretty good lie though, so tried to just get it up and land soft, and was lucky enough to use the pin as a backboard. Making my trek all the way back to get a good look at par. Through hole 15, 6 over so far. Get another look with this putter, try to find some redemption. Yeah, that's another miss. 7 over, going on to the next hole. Hole 16, pretty straightforward par 4, a little bit of a dog leg to the left, 360, gonna take the driver, fairways out to the right, so ended up playing a great shot here. Ended up in a great spot. I think it rolled a little bit through the fairway, but again, super pleased with the driver. Callaway, they just know how to make clubs, you know? Hitting the sand wedge again. Getting a better look with the sand wedge this time, of more of a full swing rather than having to hit it out of the native area. 106 yards, a little bit downhill. No big deal, got it onto the green, but on the lower tier, which left me a little bit of a lag putt once again. The grounds crew here at Cedar Hill is really just trying to make it hard for us, putting every hole just right on the top of a slope. What do you know? Made a putt. We are walking away with a par on that hole. Coming to the par 4 17th. Again, pretty straightforward par 4, 400 yards. You see the flag graphic there on the screen. Tells you it goes a little bit to the right, but it was a blind landing. Ended up hitting the driver super solid again. By the end of this round, was really comfortable with the driver. Was able to adapt to it quick. Being a very forgiving club really helped with that. I think I was getting used to the irons too. Here I'm taking a 7-iron, 163 yards. Moving on to the finishing hole here, number 18 at Cedar Hills. You can see on the graphic on the top right, it's a par 5 with an asterisk because there was construction on the tee boxes. So I was moved way up on this one where it was only 366 yards from where I took that tee shot. So according to the scorecard, it's a par 5, but was able to play it a lot shorter, fortunately. Hit my 3-wood straight again, ended up rolling through the fairway into the sand, but got a good look with the pitching wedge straight at the hole. Red flag, pretty good angle at it, and hit a great strike. Pretty consistent with the rest of the round though. Didn't hit the green, just off into the rough area. As you watch me finish up my round here on this par 4, par 5, we will talk a little bit about the clubs. Just to recap, as a budget set, they're about $1,000, super quality set of clubs from driver all the way down to putter. Like I said, the putter is the first club I would personally replace, but if you're just getting into it or needing a budget set, this is an awesome option for you. Comes with the bag, so you're ready to go. You can just head over to Walmart or head over to Walmart's website and buy this. If your local Costco has them in stock, then great. Budget set of clubs that'll get you out on the course, and you will not be disappointed with them. So if that's the price range you're looking at, definitely take a look at the Callaway Edge set, and you'll be happy you did.